All right, happening today, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff will travel to Rome for a fifth round of nuclear talks with Iran. And after months of reports that Israel could target Tehran's nuclear sites, Iran's foreign minister is sending this message, saying, quote, "I have called on the international community to take effective measures against the continuation of Israeli threats, which, if unchecked, will compel Iran to take special measures in defense of her nuclear facilities and materials. My letter is a serious pre-action warning." Here to discuss that is retired four-star General Jack Keane. General, it's great to see you. I want to start out big picture. So Iran's covert activities are hard to pin down. They've kicked out inspectors. They've limited IAEA access as well. So how close is Iran to a nuclear weapon, and how accurate is that intelligence?
Well, first of all, welcome back to the show, Lisa. It's good to see you. Yes, I mean, public reports are they're at a very high threshold level of enriched uranium, somewhere in the neighborhood of excess of 60%. It would just take a matter of weeks for them to get to nuclear weapons grade itself, and then several months for them to be able to deploy it as a weapon system. So we're right on the cusp of their having this capability. They're much closer to it than they've ever been in their history. And we have two red lines here. I mean, Iran says, and still maintains this bold-faced lie, that the only reason they have enriched uranium is so they can use it for civil nuclear power plant purposes. Then why do you have it at the grade you have it at now? And Netanyahu's Mossad went in there in 2018, raided a classified warehouse and exposed to the public indisputable facts that Iran was building a nuclear weapon. So this is a lie. And they've established a red line saying we have a right to have enriched uranium for civil nuclear power purposes, just like any other legitimate country in the world. The problem with that is they're lying, and they cheat, and they deceive. Our red line is you have to give up enriched uranium capabilities. You have to dismantle the advanced centrifuges, the facilities themselves, the ability to manufacture it, and certainly give up all the enriched uranium you have, plus the ballistic missiles. That's what's on the line, and that's where the disagreement is. This is not resolvable unless one of the parties changes the red line, and it's certainly not going to be the United States.
Well, and the good news is when President Trump draws red lines, they know we're serious. They saw that when he has implemented the maximum pressure campaign against Iran, also taking out Qasem Soleimani. So I think with that backdrop, these negotiations look a lot different than they looked under, President Obama, or even what they've seen from the Biden administration these past 4 years. Now, I want to get you on this as well. Another major news story. I want to talk about what's going on in Ukraine. This from President Trump on Truth Social. He says this: "A major prisoner swap was just completed between Russia and Ukraine. It will go into effect shortly. Congratulations to both sides on this negotiation. This could lead to something big." So my question is to you, what could this lead to, and how does this war end?
Well, first of all, we've been doing prison swaps for 2 years, and this is a positive step, certainly when negotiations go on. Let's hope it does lead to something. Right now, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, is waiting for Russia to return a term sheet as a result of the last negotiations that took place. And we will see if they're willing to make any concessions. To date, they have not. And that's where we are. What is really going on here? What Putin is attempting to do, and he has never changed his aspirations, he wants to topple the government in Ukraine, take control of Ukraine, and then also move into Eastern Europe and return these countries to the Russian Empire. Some people in our country roll their eyes at that. The facts speak for themselves. We have public intelligence reports that validate what I just said. That is his intent. The strategy in negotiations is to delay as much as possible. He talks to the president about he's interested in peace just like the president. He wants to normalize relations just like the president. So there's economic benefit for both. But what actually happens? No concessions whatsoever. No movement towards a ceasefire, a temporary ceasefire. Why doesn't he go to the ceasefire? because I think he believes he loses all the leverage. The killing stops. And he knows full well the president wants to stop the killing. If you have the ceasefire, no killing, he loses leverage. He wants maximum concessions. And if he doesn't get the maximum concessions, he wants to drag this out so that the president gets so frustrated that he leaves the negotiations. And what Putin wants is the president no longer to support Ukraine with intelligence and with weapons. Think of where the Russians are. They've tried to topple this country. They're 39 months into this war, Lisa, and they still haven't moved the lines all that much from where they began in 22. If you look at the Institute for the Study of War map, where we were in 22 and where we are now, 39 months later, Putin is taking casualties now up to 50,000, close to 50,000 a month. Last year, it was close to 40,000. So the progress in the war is completely overstated by Russia. They are having major problems themselves with this. And they certainly want the United States to stop supporting them, supporting Ukraine. That's where he's coming from.
Right. General Jack Keane, it's always an honor to see you. We appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Yeah, great talking to you, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Great talking to you as well.